ODD Landscaping. Written by Chris P. Jackson. Narrated by Andrew Doherty. I'm surrounded by idiots. Scar. Kip, F91.3. When I'm in the flow, I lose track of time. The joysticks connect to my nervous system. My mind guides the drone. Is this how control feels? Hovering over a handicapped parking spot, I nod to gimbal the camera and see the wheelchair symbol. It makes me smile, like I'm sticking it to the man. Yeah, that's right. What you gonna do about it? My cargo hatch closes. The light turns green. I see a hefty old guy in a sweaty t-shirt waddle off. He looks like he smells like food. Which reminds me, I peek under my glasses to snag fries and slurp soda. The office PA plays Binary Sunset by John Williams, and my land speeder is hugging hills and valleys, smooth banking to the west towards the rift. Besides junkers turning green in the ditches, the highway's empty. Potholes scatter like acne, but don't let them distract you. Keep over the weeds in the median. Watch out for the trees. What a green nightmare. Not my fault. I swear that branch jumped out. If Mom hadn't stopped him, Uncle Jimmy would have murdered me. But he should thank me for forcing the upgrade. We got a tip on a refurbished Scorpion 3, and I wouldn't trade it for brand new. Our speed, range, and capacity are awesomeness. And I can deliver 180 pounds to Panislandia 7 days a week. Today it's medical supplies and side hustle. Puzzled Uncle was all, Panislandia? That doesn't sound nice. That's what we call it. It's a peninsula transitioning into an island. Jimmy squinted up at a wet spot on a ceiling tile and nodded. Pyrite Valley was the place to visit. With Glackton sparkling and Gluck Glacier so mysterious, you could see all these shapes deep inside the ice. I almost nodded back, but caught myself. It's okay. Nothing's come out of there for years. Maybe I'll buzz over and check it out. The fat finger pinkly waggled. No, sir. Stick to the plan and get back here. You crash another drone, I'll kill you. And slap Brandy. That last mess almost finished me. Which was not my fault. But whatever, Mr. McHavocow. Hospital and back. I'm telling you, though, it's a new game with this beast. Way more capacity and range. I can take a 50-pound load up to the Gluck, no problemo. Jimmy blinked and grunted. Yeah? I'll have to check that out. But no smuggling, bozo. Tell the guys they'll wait if you put anything extra on board. You think I'm stupid? Wow, don't open that one. One more glare at the ceiling stain and he's gone, muttering, Let's just be careful with the next few jobs. Maybe I can get you some help. I don't need help. Unca Big Butt is best not be looking for another drone guy. Oh yeah, Jimmy, I'll be careful. You better be careful. All cool. I glance sideways. Shoot my crumpled lunch trash at the can. Score 2 points. Yeah. Man, this baby flies like a fish. The gas battery setup hums, and the camera pans 100 degrees in every direction. Down below, I see empty shops with broken windows and dusty roads heading north to pig farms. Highways used to meet up here to cross over, but now there's just a stub road to the rift. Some backpackers hike past a sign, Maine Tacoma Riftway. The joke goes, there's no MTR way because there isn't. Say it a couple times and you'll get it. They called it a rift, but nobody knew what that meant. It was this long, smooth valley with a trout stream. The peninsula was an island. But dumb farts don't care about facts. Look, there's Nut Fjord up top, east to west from the ocean to Loch Moor, right? Then the rift stream ran south and southwest back to the sea, surrounding the land with water. That's an island. But these people are so stupid. Golden Peninsula didn't have gold and wasn't a peninsula. Then like 5 years ago, we all learned what a rift is. I just quit school for the last time when the old bridge collapsed. After the quake, the valley was a half-mile wide, and the stream was a salty river with no bridge. Uncle Jimmy had just started his shipping business, so the timing was great. Our first loads got trucked up to the boats at Loch Moor, which was fine for big stuff on pallets. But hospital offices and departments need regular deliveries of smaller items. That's when Mom had the genius idea for Jimmy to get me drone certified. The old dumbfart instructors quacked at us for 6 weeks, but it was worth it. I barely slept. reading textbooks and playing simulator games. When they handed out certificates and announced I had the highest scores, I saw Mom's makeup running. Jimmy looked like he'd sat on a tack. Our business was picking up, but Marquee University and the hospital needed more than boats and drones. Pyrite Valley Med School accepts 100 new students every fall semester, many with cars. Night crew nursing commutes from Lockmoor, and tons of employees and vendors live here in Grayson. With the old bridge out, everyone took the ferry across. I'm not saying it's slow, but we call it the HMS bottleneck. There was a lot of pressure for a new bridge, and it came together so fast, some said control was driving it. The MU Analytics Department convinced the DOT it was safe to build a mile-long suspension bridge. They got the permits, sunk pilings, raised towers, and hung the road in 2 years. They rushed to finish and painted lines before they filled all the potholes. Traffic was steady for a couple years, until the second quake hit. 2 of my favorite cousins got buried under 1,000 tons of brass and asphalt. The mod scientists looked like idiots, but talked their way out of it with nerd surveys and charts. They said they were ready for normal and reverse faults, but the less common oblique slip type slipped past them. So it wasn't their fault. Har-de-har. And now, here at the Rift, plastic barricades and red tape make it look like a crime scene, except nobody got in trouble. The ocean stretches an empty mile to the last tower standing, leading away with a section of road swinging on polyfiber ropes. That I-beam sticking up looks like a rude gesture to the mainland. It's weird how I have to climb back about 20 feet we dropped crossing the water, but if the island is cursed, it doesn't seem sad. The dumb grass is greener even. Skimming over Pyrite Valley, the glittery glow calms me. I head north for about 5 minutes, thinking how I don't really mind classic 80s music, but don't tell Jimmy. And now I'm all mellow and hovering above the open water that was Nuff Fjord, looking at the not-so-glucky glacier. Disconnected and unstable. They should call it the Cliffs of Ice Sanity. You keep saying gluck, but I don't think it means what you think it means. Ha, I gotta post that. Up close? Whoa, that's a snot load of ice. I have to climb steep to see the top of the glacier. The smooth blue wall glistens like glass with gold sparkling specks. Same as the valley, the glow soothes me like Seroquel. I feel the brain fog lifting and remember bits from an old lecture. Pyrite, glacial sediment, a contaminant in aggregates, reduced structural integrity. Golden sparkle promotes a feeling of well-being and positivity. Therapeutic, ancient shield against negative energy. Quack, quack, quack. Half the fat book was about the Golden Peninsula, with its glittery gluck, blue icebergs, and humongous mountain pigs. Greystone is the state capital and twice as big as Glackton, but they only give us 1 chapter. That's not right. Our apartment was in the Lockmoor zip code, so I'm technically a Morlock, but we live south of the south side and could barely see the reactors glow. I have cousins who never paid a heating bill, but they're messed up and have funny ears. Anyway, I did 2 years at Greystone High, so stoners rule. Buzzing over the Shannon Marquee Gardens, I guess they're putting in a new sidewalk? Stacks of tarps, concrete, rebar, and some landscaping action. Wait, that's not a bulldozer. What? A big brown snuffleupagus thing tearing up trees? Oh, that's the defrosted mastodon. Cool, that's awesome. Another second, and yes, I'm early. All quiet at the hospital, with light traffic at the ED drop-off. The oversized garage door is up, with the buffet and salad bar set up in the ambulance bay. The drive circles around concrete benches where a policeman sits with his lunch. What's left of a hog hangs on a spit. A couple of crows pick scraps from the carcass. The old cop looks familiar. Do I know him? He has stripes on his shoulders, but he's eating barbecue. I thought sergeants only ate donuts. Ha ha. Back in Jimmy's office, the PA plays Donald Swan's The Road Goes On Forever, and the rhythm sway pans the camera and I see the cop is wearing dark glasses, but can't tell where he's looking. Oh, there he goes, waving a brush at me. The ring on his finger sparkles as he paints the air, and my confidence in our boys in blue wavers. I hope they don't trust him with anything more dangerous than office supplies. I'm texting my contact that I'm here when a red car tears down the ramp and slams against the curb. The door pops open and a blonde lady rolls out, green goo gushing from her shorts. Oh, seriously? How can anyone work here? As soon as she's out on her feet, the car speeds off, which absolutely doesn't seem right. I feel weird, but what do you want me to do? I'm not even here. But now my guy Connor pops out of a side door in dark blue scrubs and a red bandana on his bald head. He starts in my direction, notices the bleeding lady, and turns that way, but she's moving, squishing through the entrance. Connor sways on his feet like he's thinking. When the doors close behind the girl, Connor shrugs and turns back to me with a sunburned squint and a gold-toothed smile, and I fight the impulse to like him. He's cool, but this is business, and his head is always in that game. He pulls a coin from his fanny pack and holds it to the camera like he's reading my mind. Even with the deep vertical scratch through the face, a 1985 Washington is worth something to a collector. Connor bites the quarter like a joker, opens the hatch, and makes a show for the inside camera of dropping the coin into the little brass tip jar. Then he heads to the building with 4 pizza boxes and a grin-nod wave. As he walks away, I shake my head, wishing someone was there to notice the cool camera gimbal wiggle. Connor paid for the pizzas online, so that quarter's my tip, except for nobody tips these days. That's older than old school. I thought Connor was cool, but he's just another dumb fart. I watched his back until the door closes and then fly towards the ambulance bay to drop off the legit merchandise. Durr, howdy. We're Jimmy Delivers, durr. I'm hovering like a pro until a chunky ED tech with Ralph on his tag shows up. Gray hair shoots out from his bald forehead like a clown. He shoves a beat-up paperback into a leg pocket of his light blue scrubs and leads me to a bench in the back where I park, and Ralph unloads the saline bottles, ECG stickers, and O2 sensors. He checks numbers, shoves a receipt in my hold. When he passes his tag over a sensor, a green wooden circle smugly rolls open, revealing a tunnel with doors on both sides. The gray clown puffs his cheeks, centers himself on the load, and bends his knees. Make room, old guy lifting. That went smooth. I'm ahead of schedule, and I can milk a half hour before Jimmy expects me. Back in drone school, one of the dumb farts gave us a lecture on voyeurism. I barely listened, but the graphics were great. People are more fun when they don't know they're on video, and now I finally got a decent camera. I'm scanning the sidewalks, but don't see anything worth posting. Jimmy's such an old lady. C1 Glacier, you've seen them all. But I haven't been to Sweet Haven in a while, and not with this drone. It's just a few more miles, and I hear there's a new ship worth checking out. Also, Transport's big tugboat, Duncan's Terror, might be there getting upgrades. Or probably not, I guess. The pirates still hold the bay, and nursing and patient transport don't play nice outside of work. I'm cooking a deal with Transport to beef up their cannons. Duncan's a dumb fart, but he has a shipping container of munitions stocked at the lock, and he'll pay good money for discreet shipping. The timing is right, with the MU looking to teach the pirates humility. Everyone smuggles, but the nurses have been sloppy, and control seems to favor Transport right now. Not like I have a frog in this race. I don't care who comes out on top. As Connor might say, it's not personal. It's business. The gold-green miles pass under me, and Sweet Haven Bay rolls into view. Cute tourist traps line the shores, with mountains to the south and the ocean stretching west. It's a cloudy noon 30, so no sun glare. Ships are anchored, docked, and hauled up for maintenance. A pair of caravels chase each other around the harbor, training new nurses. In the middle of the bay, 2 big galleons hang off anchor chains like dogs in a junkyard. One of those brutes must be under RN Jacques, who hardly goes out to sea. According to the internet, his crew loves him, but he's sea anxious and will stay in the harbor or maybe hug the coast on calm days. Not my idea of a leader, but the Commodore trusts him with a galleon. Speaking of the holy horror, there's her monstrous ship of the line, taking on supplies and rotating crew at the dock. And looky there, behind the mizzen mast, it's the Commodore herself, waving a Bible in one hand and karate chopping the air with the other. At work, she's ED Tech Johanna, but out here, she's Joan of Anarchy, a genius strategist and hardcore evangelist. There must be a good joke in there somewhere. Joan's main qualification to command is that she holds title to the 1,500-ton Saul, with 128 cannons and enough mass to ram Duncan's Terror into Neptune's scrapyard. Joan's also the only captain with 2K certification. Even RN Shelley's thumbprint can't unlock a ship heavier than her 1,000-ton excavate parked behind the Saul. According to a quick internet search, excavate is a carrack, fresh from the west and already sporting Shelley's seashell motif flags and deck furniture. Carpenters rappel down the sides, patching and painting the hull above the waterline. Twice the size of the caravels and taller than the galleons, she looks more like a swollen yacht than a fighting ship. Well, they say the only thing Shelley loves more than pillaging is partying. Hey, wait, there's somebody up here in the rigging. Whoa, that's Shelley, chilling in the crow's nest, catching rays, and looking fit. That word, voyeurism, is floating behind my ears, but I'm distracted. When I finally look around, everyone has stopped, turned and grabbed walkie-talkies, with eyes and binoculars on me. Not freaking out, but not happy either. They might even think I'm spying on them, which I guess I am. Even as I realize it and reflexively snap, dive, dodge, climb, dark smoke poofs from the deck guns on the carrack, which turns out to be less of a party boat than I thought. Angry paintballs streak past on each side, probably from the caravels. I suddenly remember Uncle Jimmy wanting me to hurry back after the delivery, and now my lower GI's all growly. Not cool to have the last GPS location over hostile waters 15 miles southwest of the hospital. It's tough keeping track of allies and enemies, but folks from Greystone are like never on the guest list. Not to mention this drone is new in town. And yep, the caravels are lining up to wipe me out. But I'm climbing and watching for shots to dodge and see an opening in the east-southeast and go for it. Okay, I've got altitude and velocity and... Ouch! The image shuddered twice. Junk, I'm hit. But not by a deck gun. It must have been Shelley from the crow's nest. Wow. Well, at least there's no system failure. I'm stable. Yeah, my bird is tough. I should give her a name. Her or him? I probably just got smacked by a couple paintballs. Pop out a dent, spritz a Krylon, and I'm good to go. And with a kickin' video to post, thank you very much. We're clear and cruising at 80 feet, heading back towards the bridge tower with enough fuel and Connor's quarter. Jimmy doesn't need to know anything. Greystone is right there across the rift. I could cut across, but it's only a few minutes to the bridge. I haven't flown over those mountains before. Oh, look, a herd of hogs. Oof, they're mangling that hill. Reminds me of the monster in the garden. Same color, hairiness, and tuskiness. Elephants are giant pigs. Just past the mini-mammoths. Hey, is that Blake and his dogs? Yeah, it must be the ED director. How many people hunt boars? A decent bronze shoulder cannon with good powder costs a fortune, and those piggies are quackingly dangerous. Oh yeah, it's Blake. He's wearing an ID badge, and the dogs are in emotional support animal vests. That's funny, but it doesn't seem right. Blake's talking into his cell phone and suddenly looks up, spots me, swings the barrel around like it doesn't weigh a ton, and fires in one motion. Crawfish! This time the video completely distorts and then goes black. I swear, sweat, and pray for a minute in the dark. Okay, 4 seconds, but they were horrible. Then my lenses flicker back on, and I squeal like a girl. No shame. Yes, Danny the drone is beyond military grade. That's his name, Danny. We've been through a lot. Blake took out a rotor and jacked a harness, but thanks to the fault tolerance controller, Danny lives. And now we're out of range, with the video back online. Oh yeah, we're bad. The controls are fudgy, but good enough to get home. Awesome. The repairs will be a headache, but what a great story. These pirates and even Director Blake can't stop us. Panislandian losers. Greystone rules. I'm going back to paint Danny wicked and give him a dead pirate emoji for each... Oh, wait. The temp flash is yellow. Controls are mush. Oh, flying cow. Treetops rushing up. Come on. Are you kidding? We ducked destruction 3 times and we're almost home. EMS jeeps are coming in to beat me to my crash site. Lenses go black for the last time. No way. Control set us up. Quack! Piece of junk. Aw man, Danny's dropping blind. Not cool. Jimmy's gonna... Deep! The door crashes open and Jimmy bursts in. Kip, what are you doing? Nothing. The stupid pirates started firing for no reason. Then Director Blake shot us, and we almost made it back when the system seized up. They killed Danny. Jimmy's face is red. His shaking hand can barely hold the phone to his sweaty ear. Yes, Mr. O'Connor. No, it's my idiot nephew. I'm very sorry for the trouble. I promise it won't happen again. Hey? Oh, Kip. Kip Person. Hello? Yes. No, really. Well, that's very good of you, sir, but... Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good afternoon. Jimmy glares at me, wet-eyed with rage. How humiliating. Having to kiss up to Connor when the nurse was... Yeah! Connor set the whole thing up. And now he's got Danny. And my quarter. Plus, he got Jimmy to apologize for it and made me look like an idiot. Jimmy called me an idiot on the phone. Uncle sucks air a few more times, shakes his head and looks up. So, Kip, Mr. Connie tells me you spied on sunbathing nurses, then buzzed a control area and crashed into another tree. What part of come right back did you not understand? Huh? What? I told you what happened. Connor's lying to you, or they're lying to him. No, he was tracking me and calling the pirates and Blake and had them shoot at us. If I weren't such a good pilot, I'd have dumped it in the bay or crashed into the pigs. Jimmy is shaking his head again. Kip, stop. I was done with you and just about to kick you out of the house, but Mr. Connor seems to have a soft spot for you and asked me to cut you a break because you're a kid and you can learn from this. You owe him big. Like fun I owe him. The white noise blah blah fades into the background while I'm thinking, how do I get Danny back? Who are my friends? How did Connor take me out? I tune back in just as Jimmy's monologue is wrapping up. Connor said he'd look for the drone and try to ship it back through more transit. You'll have to go up there and get it on Thursday if it's ready. I nod like I'm all on board with whatever. Connor's laughing at us. He thinks he's control, like he can see and direct everything. But just because he can dole favors and call them in doesn't give him the power and doesn't mean he can read people. Not everyone he can't. One thing I will take home is his advice to learn from this. Oh yeah, I'll learn. And I guess I owe him for the lesson. But I also owe him for the embarrassment. And I will clear that debt and get Danny back. And my quarter. This has been ODD Landscaping, written by Chris P. Jackson.